Pete here with a small business resource center.com and PeteGustis.com. It's April 15th, tax day, and here's an update on the coronavirus stats. I'm also going to update you on information on how to get your stimulus check and your payments now if you're a non-filer or if your bank information is incorrect. Then I'll go over business closures. Then I'm going to go over the updated stimulus package that they're proposing because they're planning on having a round two. And I will also review the Heroes package and the essential worker stimulus that they're proposing. So stay tuned. All right, so we're looking at the stats. Looks like a slowdown, if you ask me. It looks like 1.9 million. We're very close to 2. I believe it'll be 2 million confirmed cases by the end of the day. Globally, 127,000 deaths. And when you're looking at the trend, you can see the trend seems to be flattening and actually going down for daily cases. So daily active cases going down drastically. On the 10th, we're at 96,000. And on the 14th, we're at 58,000. I think that's great. It looks like it's going down very quickly. But one thing to keep in mind is a lot of people have said the coronavirus actually dies in the heat. Spring is coming to the northern hemisphere. And, well, of course, the social distancing and the regulations from the CDC, I'm sure, are helping. But they did say the heat actually can kill the coronavirus. So that's probably doing a lot, too. In the United States, 609,000 confirmed cases. Our trend line here, very similar. And, of course, it seems to be plateauing. And we're doing the same thing. It seems like it's going down. So on the 12th, 24,000 confirmed cases. Then it's at 27. So it looks like we're actually trending down too, just like the rest of the world is. Who knows what the difference could be, but could be a bunch of things. Links will be in the description for all the links as normal. So this is an important link for a lot of people. If you do not file your taxes for any reason, you might be a dependent on someone else's tax return, but you're over 18, you're not working. Typically, if you're not working, that's why you don't file your taxes, or you don't make above the threshold to have to file. That means your gross income wasn't $12,200. Here's the link that you have to click to get your refund. Keep in mind, if you do file, you're automatically going to get a refund. So this is not for you. But what you need to do is click this link here. I'm not going to go over it. You need your full name, mailing address, and email address, date of birth, social security number, valid bank account, and routing number if you have one. If you do not, you would get a check. That check could take up to 2 to estimated 5 months to receive. But if you don't do anything, you're not going to get anything. So keep that in mind. If you do have a bank account number, then they're going to direct deposit it and you might get it in a couple weeks. And you need your state issuing driver's license. And for each qualifying child, if you're going to add a child, you need the relationship to them to put on there. So keep in mind it's $1,200, $2,400 for a couple, and then I believe it's $500 for a child. And here is the website that's going to be up. Link will be in the description to get your payments. This is for people who, if you want to check the status, or if you normally file, you didn't file, or the information may be incorrect, you can update your banking information on this. But to do that, you have to keep in mind that you're going to have information on past tax returns. I've been told you might have to get a copy of your old tax return before you go this, because they want to verify that you are you. So you can't just have a random person log in here, type someone's name without a copy of the past tax return, and maybe transfer funds that are going to you to them. So to avoid fraud, they need information on a past tax return to do that. That would be I think your adjusted gross or some other information. Okay, now we're looking at something I don't want to talk about, but there's no choice. Because of the very strict regulations in a lot of states, Pennsylvania is one of them. You might have one of those too. Many small businesses are at the risk of closing. And for this reason, nationally, there's probably going to be a second round of stimulus. Some people are calling it round 4. I really call it, the second round, because of the simple fact that these are checks going to companies and people. There are other programs. So yeah, you can keep that in mind, however you want to say it. But 90% of small businesses have less than 20 employees, and the profits aren't huge. So if you're not doing business for 1 or 2 months, it's causing a lot of these businesses to be at risk of closing down. Keep in mind, a lot of the stimulus checks haven't come yet. They just came this week, if you saw, or they're still on the way. I know some of my clients said they didn't get it yet. My bank my SBA email just came. If you saw my other email explaining what happens when it comes, I'll put that in the description too. So if you didn't see it and you want to look at that, it kind of explains what happens. And this goes over the stats of the impact of the small business with the coronavirus. Of course, there's been a huge decrease in revenue. I talked to some of my clients that are in the restaurant business, actually quite a few of them, and despite being allowed to open, their businesses dropped so much. A lot of people are just going to traditional drive-throughs, like fast food places. I would encourage you to support the local businesses that you have gone to in the past. Keep in mind, a lot of them are open. They're just not hugely, I should say, weighted in cash like a national company. So they're not advertising they're open. I would say if there's a place that you like to go, call them today instead of going to the fast food place, and say, hey, are you offering curbside pickup or delivery? Because they're probably offering something, and you can support the local business that you've always supported in the past. Nothing against fast food places. I stopped there myself, but try to support some local businesses. And these go over the stats of layoffs. Now, they do have the Paycheck Protection Program and the EDIL that's supposed to help with this type of thing. But a lot of people, of course, had to lay people off. And here's major retailers that are permanently are in risk of closure. USA always blocks me. Sorry, I don't know what they do to the website. I can't control it. So you can hear the audio, but I guess the USA Today doesn't like my face. All right. And basically, a lot of these retailers, even though you see a big store, there's not extremely huge profits. So they're at risk of closing. JCPenney, Sears, Kmart, Neiman Marcus, David's Bridal, Ascena Retail Group, which looks like they have a bunch of different brands: Lane Bryant, Justice, Loft, and Taylor. Rite Aid, GNC, J. Crew. Those are just a few of the companies. All right, and now the news that you were really hoping for. This is basically the essential workers package, or the heroes stimulus that everybody's been talking about. So this was updated just the other day. There's a couple things that are proposed. That would be a bonus or an hourly rate increase for essential workers being backdated to the time when your area first had issues with the coronavirus. So this was first introduced on the 7th, but it's been going back and forth on what they're hoping to call for. So they called it basically the Heroes Fund, and it would give upwards of $25,000 in premium pay and also a $15,000 for health and home workers and first responders. Now, keep in mind, this is not set in stone. This is basically something that's just being proposed. It's also for federal employees. They're looking at trying to give a approximate 13-hour increase backdated from when this first started. So similar to the unemployment compensation, Trump actually said when they passed the legislation, it's supposed to be backdated to when you could backdate your claim to when the coronavirus first started experiencing issues. So who would be eligible if this passes? That would be federal frontline workers, Title V employees, postal workers, Transportation Security Administration, Veterans Administration, Aviation Administration, and eligible employees in your state. Okay, and starting late January, just like what they did with the rest of the legislation. Okay, as envisioned, proposed for essential workers, you can basically apply for the fund and receive up to $10,000. So that's basically it. I think it'd be good to do things for some of the essential workers. I'm not exactly sure if this is going to pass, but if you want updates as soon as they come out, I do update every day and sometimes twice a day. The Small Business Resource Center, if you want to help me out, you can go ahead and smash that like button. If you want to help a friend out, you can share this video or post it on social media. Have a great day.